Hey everyone, this is Ed Gutowski. What I wanted to do was to create a welcome video, just kind of to welcome you to class. I'm super jazzed for our class. Our class is going to be a lot of fun. You're in for a real treat because the books that I've taught for our online class are fantastic. I've taught them all before and I had great success, so I'm really looking forward to our class. Just to give you a little background, English 300 is the college composition class. It generally focuses on a variety of things, rhetoric and argument. It focuses on a sort of a compare and contrast essay, a research paper, a literary analysis. Either which way, it is always fun. And we're going to start off in week 2. We'll get into the rhetoric and argument part of class that students really like. And I've sort of made the first week a little bit easy, and then we'll kind of kick into gears really in week 2. And so the first part of in week 1, basically, there are a set of poems that I want you to look at that are going to be the foundation of our class. You'll kind of look over those poems. There's a discussion board and a short essay that's due. But I really wanted to talk about the books that were for class. So the first book that we're going to look at is a book called Into the Wild. And Into the Wild is a book by Jon Krakauer. I've taught it both in ground and on class. Lots of success. Students really like this book, and I'll have an introductory video probably, because we're going to get into this book probably around week 3, which I'll kind of talk about that in more detail. It's a really fun book. It's engaging. There's a lot of interesting ideas within it. The second book we're going to actually look at is a graphic novel. It's called The Harlem Hellfighters Club. And so if you think about it, hey, look, we're going to be looking at a graphic novel in our class, so that can make things maybe a little bit easier if you think about it in terms of we're going to be looking at a comic book, and we can ask the question, what if using a graphic novel is appropriate for our class? This book was really highly recommended. It's a great graphic novel. It deals with African Americans during the First World War. The last book we're going to look at is called The Hate U Give, and I've been using this book pretty much consistently. I was going to start using the book in 2020 for my ground class, then COVID hit, so I've only really been teaching it online. Students love it. It's a book that deals with issues of race and racism in America, and every time I use it, students like the book. They like being exposed to the ideas that they've never thought about with regards to issues of race and racism in America. I get really good papers on it. And interesting enough, I was looking at something that said there was some sort of question about what's the most significant book that you've read in the last 10 years, and people kept on coming back to The Hate U Give. So and that's the book we'll end with. We're also going to look at the Siegel Reader Essays. The Siegel Reader Essays is a collection of, essays that deal with arguments, and so we'll be reading a variety of those. And then the last book we're going to look at is the St. Martin's Handbook, and that's a book that I found that is really accessible for students. It helps us understand the key concepts of rhetoric and argument. It helps students understand fallacies, helps students understand MLA. So I just wanted to let you know these are the books. They're all required for class, kind of give you kind of a background for our class. Hey, it's going to be loads of fun. I mean, it's going to be a great class. I've set up the class so basically everything is due by Friday at midnight. We will never meet in person. Not during Zoom. So I'll post the agenda. You'll have a week to work on it. And what students liked is they liked having that flexibility to have a week to get to all coursework and class assignments. And I'll check in during the week to see how you're doing. I answer all the discussion board questions. I also have an office hour. You can come by and Zoom by our office hours. So basically, if you want to look at week 1, there's a series of poems I want you to look at. They're the foundation of our class. So I want to you're going to have a discussion board question, and then you have an essay kind of based on them. And then you need to make sure you send me a welcome email that introduces yourself to me, and I need that by the end of the week, because then if I don't get that welcome email, I'll drop you and I can add students on the wait list. Really looking forward to our class, looking forward to what you have to write, and if you have any questions, just send me a Zoom or send me an email, And like I said, I'm looking forward to our class.